Hey, it's Rich back with you for another video. We've got a 2000 A36 Bonanza, very unique airplane. I'm excited to tell you about this airplane and very excited to fly it. I'm going to take you along. Clear. Looks good. Got plenty of fuel, our trims are set, cow flaps are open. Check the idle here. And one thing about this airplane, you know, I've flown a lot of new airplanes been fortunate to fly a lot of new airplanes, Bonanzas, Barons, 182s, 206s, King Airs, Caravans, Citations, and there is, you know, that new airplane quality or characteristic that you just can't duplicate with you know, refurbishing airplanes. And this airplane, you know, with such low time, it still has that new airplane feel, you know, where everything is crisp. It's hard to describe, but like I said, I've flown a lot of new airplanes, so I have that sense to feel, you know, what the difference is. And this airplane, I've delivered demo airplanes that have more time on it than this airplane, so it's one of the really unique things about this particular airplane is the super low time it has and how it's preserved, and you can tell it's been hangared, you know, in a really, you know, like climate controlled hangar. And we've taken a lot of care with the owner to make sure that this engine was brought back to life properly. We've changed oil, you know, multiple times. We've done oil samples. We've run it. We've really, you know, honed in on making sure that as it comes back to life, it's been cared for the right way. And just by doing this run-up, you can tell that, you know, everything's right on the money. So everything checked out. We're gonna get airborne.
North Denver was approved. Number 446, left down approved. Runway 26 left. Clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. 26 left. 4466 Lima.
Long Beach Tower, Cessna 738, Quebec Echo, millionaire north.
Tower 922 Tango Alpha, inbound to RNAV 30, circle to land, 26 left.
Tower 922 Tango Alpha, I'm sure circle, 26 left, report your circle.
26 left, report circle, Tango Alpha.
Please 24 taxiway Juliet, the Mima Atlantic, you're clear to land. Please 24 taxiway Juliet, the Mima Atlantic, you're clear to land.
24 clear to land, taxiway Juliet, Mima Atlantic, thank you.
Citation 710 Yankee, OCR ready to taxi Victor.
Citation 710 Yankee, let me show runway 30, taxi via Foxtrot and Delta.
Foxtrot Delta 3010 Yankee.
730. Roger. November 66 Lima, frequency change for us.
66 Lima, see ya. Okay, we leveled off of Long Beach here at 3,500 to kind of stay below some airspace and above some airspace. And then we're going to get out a little further east and we'll climb up. But just to give you performance, I mean, Bonanzas fly around at this altitude, 3,500 feet. And, you know, we're indicating about sun's right in my eyes, about 145. True airspeed's about 160. We have 24 inches, 2,400 RPMs, and about 14 gallons an hour of gas. Nice and stable, nice and comfortable. And we'll cruise that. We'll go up a little higher and give another cruise performance reading. But this particular airplane, I've done videos on A36 Bonanzas, obviously one of the most popular general aviation airplanes of all time. And I think, I could be wrong, but I believe Bonanzas are, and Barons for that matter, are the longest continuous production airplane of in any class. Actually, it would be the Bonanza, because the Bonanza came out, I think, in 1947, and I think it's been in continuous production since. That says a lot about Bonanzas. A36s came out later. 1984, they went to kind of the new style panel, and I believe in 2006 they went to the G1000 and became a G36 Bonanza, and that's the current production with the G1000 NXI. So just an all-around wonderful airplane in a lot of respects. 6 seats, good cruise speed, comfortable, solid, quality airplanes, and they're still producing them today. And 1984, as I mentioned, is an interesting year because they went to the new panel, and I think they went to the 550 Continental, and essentially the airframe and the engine propeller combination is probably the same today as it was in 1984. Avionics upgrades, they upgraded the air conditioning, but generally speaking, the same airplane. And right now, we're in a time where you can upgrade avionics with the products from Garmin to make these airplanes, these older airplanes, to new standards in terms of capability and avionics equipment. And if you take an airplane like this, like a Bonanza, that hasn't changed really airframe-wise in all these years, and then you have these new state-of-the-art avionics, you can really have something special that really competes with new. And we're going to talk a little bit about these avionics that you can put in this airplane, and that's why this airplane is unique. You know, every once in a while you run across a really unique airplane, and because of the load time and the history of this airplane and the condition it's in, the year, and all these things kind of line up, and then for somebody to buy this airplane, I mean, you can fly it like it is. It's not, I mean, it's very capable. It's got a WAS GPS 530, a WAS 430, a very capable KFC 225 autopilot, upgraded audio panel, upgraded Mode S, I think that's a 345 Garmin transponder, standby G5, and so it's very capable as it is. I'm going to go ahead and do a climb here. Let's select vertical speed, give me about 300-400 feet a minute up, and let's go up to 7,500 feet.
Little South Tower, mk./th arrival for runway 22
Now that we're
right,
kind of
taxi instructions afterwards. Altimeter 290.
out of the airspace here.
64 will make a south arrival for runway 22 right and await taxi instructions.
So again, the way this airplane sits, especially for somebody like me that's been flying for a long time in these avionics. At one point, the avionics package that's in this airplane was state-of-the-art, and done a lot of IFR flying in the system with a 530 and a 430 and a King HSI and this autopilot. So it's very capable. Now, if you've grown up or got your license and started flying with the advanced avionics, then this might look a little antiquated. Either way, but the thing about this airplane that's unique is that you could upgrade the avionics to the new, you know, G500 TXI, the new Garmin autopilot, the 750, the 650, this new stuff, the Garmin engine instruments, and that really, I mean, from my perspective, and everybody's got their opinion on this kind of stuff, that could competes with G1000 NXI in a new airplane. And you ask yourself, okay, what are the differences? Well, capability-wise, avionics, from an avionics perspective, some people might argue that the TXI is preferred over the G1000 NXI.
64, clear to land, runway 22 right.
And I think, you know, it's subjective, but you can make the argument. And then you look at the rest of the airframe, as I mentioned, from 1984 to now, the same engine, propeller, cabin's the same. You can upgrade to the current air conditioning system. So it really makes it a compelling upgrade value-wise, and you would be, you know, significantly under what a new airplane would cost. So then you look at the older, or the G36s that are used, and you're still probably a couple $100,000 under a used G36. And I don't think there's a lower time airframe A36 on the market than this one. Okay, so another performance look here at 7,500 feet. We're doing 143 knots, 143 indicated. I've got the altimeter and I've got the temperature in. And that's getting us 164 knots true airspeed, 22 inches, lean that out a little bit more, 22 inches, 2,300 RPMs, and about 13.5 gallons an hour, which is basically exactly what the book says. So the airplane's 165 knots true at 7,500 feet on about 13 gallons an hour. So it's right essentially what the book performance says for this altitude, temperature, and power settings. Pretty economical cruise in the airplane. Okay, talking a little bit about this engine, obviously the airplane had a period of inactivity. It's a one-owner airplane. Gentleman bought it brand new and used it to commute from South Dakota to Phoenix, and used it the way a lot of people use Bonanzas, you know, like flying and enjoyed the trips, and put about 350, close to 400 hours on it between the time he bought it and this airplane was certified in late 2000, December of 2000, so really it's closer to 2001. And then he flew the airplane until I think around 2011, and then its flying dropped off, and it had a period of about 10 years of inactivity. The airplane was hangared, climate controlled hangar, and then he had somebody that went out and, you know, spun the prop and still took care of the airplane. Really good maintenance history on it. And then late last year, a friend, business partner, got involved and got me involved, and we started to bring the airplane back to life and started, you know, got it started, did some engine runs, changed the oil, did some oil samples, compression checks, started flying the airplane, and we put about, I think, 30 hours on it in the last 3 months. I flew it from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, back to California a week ago, and before that we put about, you know, 20 hours on the airplane. So we've really tried to do bring it back to life out of this period of inactivity the right way, and I think we have. And the engine is you know, performing really well. The oil samples, the compression checks, all the things that we've done routinely to bring it back have been really checking out really well. And you know, here we are cruising and everything. You know, it runs cool. It's not using any oil. The oil samples have come back to where they're, you know, at a normal level now. So a lot of people say, oh, that engine didn't run for, you know, all those years. And we continued to monitor the engine, compression checks, oil samples. You know, you would expect a period of inactivity that you'd have some high readings on different metals and different content of the oil, but we fully expected that, but that's all come down to where it's back to normal. So again, you know, I know there's going to be a lot of comments saying the engine, you know, is suspect, but based on my experience with these engines, you never really know. I mean, you could have a low time engine that's been running regularly and have issues. I've seen a lot of engines that have had periods of inactivity that have been just fine. And you know, we're going to bore scope the engine, but we think based on, you know, people that we've talked to, and that's the other thing, we've talked to some engine experts, and based on the people that we've talked to and the readings that we've got on this engine, we feel like this engine is solid, and there's, you know, the risk level is minimal with it. And you know, I think you could argue it's not more. You know, you take a risk on any used engine that you get. So we feel like we've done everything we can to mitigate that risk with this engine, and I feel really good about it. And I know the experts that we talk to feel good about it as well. And we're going to continue to monitor it. Okay, so as I mentioned on the avionics in this airplane, they're pretty much as delivered from Beechcraft in late 2000, December of 2000, except for a couple of things. This was the standard, you know, loaded panel from Beech in that era. You've got the KCS 55A King HSI, and I think this audio panel has been upgraded. That's a PS Engineering. I think it's like a PMA 7000, and then the KFC 225 autopilot. GNS 530 WAS, GNS 430 WAS, upgraded GTX 345 ADS-B in and out transponder, and then a G5 has been added. And then you got a second Garmin indicator here. So a very capable IFR machine, good autopilot, and nothing wrong with it. It's just not, you know, current generation in an airplane like this. A typical upgrade would be adding a G500 TXI, primary flight display, Garmin engine instruments, a GTN 750, Navcom, IFR GPS, probably a 650, and then the GFC 500 autopilot with XM, ADS-BN, all the stuff that comes with that. And you compare that with, as I mentioned earlier, the new G1000 NXI, which is delivered factory new in the Bonanzas, the G36s. Again, you could argue, I think objectively, that the TXI has some advantages over the NXI. The touchscreen. Certainly the GFC 500 autopilot is, I would say, equivalent to the GFC 700 that comes in the NXI new airplanes. And that was always kind of the big gap, in my opinion, in avionics upgrades, was before the GFC 500 or 600 retrofit autopilot from Garmin, you were off-brand with the S-Tech, and there was some discontinuity that you couldn't quite get to. That's all gone with the GFC 500. But again, the main point here is that this airplane can be upgraded with the latest avionics to be up, you know, very close, or again, some might argue even better than a new NXI package from Garmin. And this would be a great airplane that you could invest in because of the load time, because of the like-new quality, that you could invest in those avionics and have the value in this airplane. And so I'm looking forward to seeing who buys this airplane and what they do with it, and hopefully, you know, have a follow-on video to show, you know, what it looks like when it's done. And the airplane's for sale. We just getting ready to put it on the market. It's probably on the market as this video comes out. Asking price is $545,000, and that'll come with a checkout, Bonanza checkout with me, and delivery, and annual's pretty fresh on it. So we're looking forward to working with somebody on this airplane, and either leave it like it is or do a nice upgrade on it. Okay, we're descending out of 5,000 feet over the Santa Ana Canyon here, heading towards Fullerton Airport. We're going to go into Fullerton and land. I think there's a little restaurant at Fullerton Airport. We have a bite to eat. And anyway, it's a really unique airplane, a really unique Bonanza. I've always loved Bonanzas, and these unique airplanes like this that have a story with them are really always interesting to me. And if you have any questions about it, you can see more information on our website, ocraviation.com. You can leave us a comment, give me a call, an email. Love to talk to you about the airplane if you're interested. And all right, we're going to send into and land at Fullerton. Thanks for watching. Down, flaps are land.
863 Sierra Lima going west.
832 Lima, turn right, contact SoCal departure 125.35, good day.
125.35, thanks a lot.